like, there's going to be a time when Hikaru's sitting in his pineapple shirt and he's not playing chess anymore, and he's just going to have to watch me win tournament after tournament. He's going to be too old to even compete. My reign is going to last so long that he's going to be at the age of like, just like he can't even walk anymore, and I'm still going to be winning. I can beat him while he's playing, but I think the best part would be like when he's just done, and then he has to watch me.
Hikaru is not stopping. He continues to dance. Bishop E7, another good move.
Look at this. Look at his pieces.
It looks
what
like,
shape is that? Is that a trapezoidal rhombus, a rhombozoidal trapezoid?
It looks so terrible for black, and yet Hikaru is hanging right in there. He dropped A6 pawn. What does he want after rook takes A6?
And he had to play that. I think the other rook coming to D8 is what scared him, because rook G8, there was a mate threat. So at least he wards off the rook. Finally plays F5 a little bit later than I thought he would. And the position is heating up just as Hans's clock is dwindling down. Black's knight could also try to access those juicy dark squares on the king side. This ain't over.
No, it's not. A king H6.
Oh, knight G3.
Yeah, this king can go up the board for black as well. He's pinning the...
Oh, knight F2, F4 mate.
Oh, that is crazy. Look at Hans's time. He's got no time. Rook D7's coming.
And then F4 check is actually going to win the knight. What does Hans do? He's down to 1 second. He's going to lose this game. He drops the E4 pawn.
Okay, will Hikaru take it is the big question. He goes to just double his rooks first, but no, he grabs that pawn, knight back, and now the E pawn is dangerous.
And Hikaru playing really fast. He feels confident that he can win this game on the board and on the clock. He's got two enemies, Hans, that he's fighting as the knight drops back to F5, clearing the red carpet for the E pawn. Suddenly looks like that pawn, I mean, these obstacles are just going to be blown off the board, and Hans loses on time.
Hikaru gives up A5, and he's hoping that he can just go after the white pawns, but I think with those double G pawns for both sides, I mean, that's one of the ugliest pawn structures you can see.
Oh my gosh.
In complete control here.
And finally, Hikaru gets one of his pawns moving. That knight is just jumping around, and it has had way too much coffee. And is it finally time to push D5? No.
He goes back because, king D3, so you're giving up the G3 pawn, but the knight's trapped there, king E3 to F3.
Oh my gosh, and Hikaru might have to give up his second pawn to extricate that poor knight.
It's not getting out.
It's still not going to get out. Knight F1, king E2, knight H2, I think he should try B3. But you can just, oh my gosh.
He wants to trade off all the pawns.
Great try. I've drawn so many of these positions. You don't know which pawn to stop with which piece, and you end up losing your only pawn.
And I'm looking at Hans here.
Oh, my lands.
Oh, here's the G pawn.
And this is typical Hikaru. He's going to go G3. White's pieces are going to be tied down to stopping these passers. B3.
Oh, my
Black's
goodness.
king sliding in. It's a draw.
It's like a split in bowling, right? You just can't get them all. The knight goes to G3. The king goes back to D5. And
he blundered. Oh, no. Is it a win?
Oh, look
How
at
do you win?
Look at his face. He's really upset.
Oh, G1 queen.
G1 equals queen.
Oh, my gosh.
Hans blunders it right back, and he slaps his forehead. That game is a draw. Yeah, now knight D6, C4 drops, and the white king is way too slow going after the H-pawn.
I don't know, but Hikaru's kings can kind of look like Ferraris, and...
Uh-oh, the king is going after the H-pawn. Look at 12 seconds for black.
Knights suck.
Oh, my goodness. And he takes it. Is he going to win? He's going to win.
He's going to promote with check.
Hikaru is going to win this game.
Don't go king G7, because that lets the knight access F5. Is
Wow.
the winning move king G6, Robert? Is it king G5?
Let's see. He's calculating. You see, look at him on screen. He is
Both
hovering.
moves win.
Both moves are winning. He plays king G6.
No.
And this is unbelievable.
No, but to go for the A pawn when it was clear that the H pawn was falling, that is just a mindless decision by Hans. He's going to lose this game, but you still have to convert this. Knight and pawn versus queen can be tricky, Robert.
But in
A2, he's allowed. No, A2, queen G8.
Okay, so where's king B3? So the king is actually
Oh
going
my
to hide
gosh.
in enemy territory. And how do you win this now?
Well, Hikaru had a chance to put the queen on A2, and that would have completely paralyzed any further chances that black had. Now he can't get the queen A2 anymore.
So he's going to keep giving a bunch of checks. We're going to have to keep an eye on the 50-move rule if no pawns or captures are made. But the A2 threat forces him to keep giving these checks.
Hans does not deserve to lose this game, so I think he's earned a draw here. But people assume that as long as the pawn isn't on A2, it's winning. Not so fast.
Oh,
he's allowed queen A2 again. And he missed it again.
But he's still winning because his king is so close.
Oh, my gosh. But how do you win this?
Queen A4,
Zig and zag.
king D3.
Finally.
Oh, my goodness. And
Okay, there's the answer. Queen F4. I think Hikaru deliberately trying to make his position worse so that he can put that psychological pressure on Hans. But there's no other way to put it. Hans is getting smoked, or shall I say he's getting moked.
oh, no.
Holy mokes. Queen F6 is coming, and Do we care about this rook on d1?
No, because there's also not only is f7 hang, bishop h6 in many
no.
positions. So queen takes f6 is a knockout. Look at Hikaru. He used to have a show called Nakamura's Knockouts, and this is one of them.
And you want to hear the worst part is bishop h6. It would be winning normally, but it also comes with a discovered attack against the queen to make matters even worse. And matters could not possibly be worse for Hans's comeback chances because this lead has spiraled into a complete tailspin. It'll be at 6, and Hikaru versus Ali Reza. This is giving off those kinds of vibes, but Hikaru has a proven track record of comebacks. He wasn't able to make one. It's not looking like Hans is anywhere near a comeback right now.
And where does this queen belong, Danya? What square would you go to?
Well, queen c4 is tempting because it gets the queens off, but you pointed this out earlier, the knight coming to d3. That's a deal breaker. And so the queen parks itself on nice defensive square. Now the knight to b5.
But that knight comes to d3, and apparently that was a huge
Queen c7.
Oh, my
Knight
goodness.
f3.
Oh, the king on h2 is misplaced, so there's discovered attack. Look at Hikaru. He sees it. Look at that face.
Ooh. I mean, he doesn't want to look at this. This is painful. The bishop on c3.
Oh, my goodness. Wind blowing in his hair.
You could not ask for anything better. There's been so much anticipation going into this weekend, and you almost want the anticipation to continue. It's like that present you've been looking for, and you don't want to unwrap it. But I don't think any of us have regretted what we've seen thus far, and the most entertaining part very likely still ahead. I mean, Hikaru doing things to Black's kingside here that I don't want to speak about.
You said entertaining, and suddenly there's a knight sack on g6. The black king went up and back, and Hikaru, he is doing well on the clock. He could take king h2. I mean, that's just such a Hikaru move. He wants rook b1, rook g1.
Oh, my gosh.
And he's only going to take the pawns on the king side when he's good and ready.
You read his mind. I thought he was just sort of, putting his old Russian schoolboy hat on. No, he is putting his, I want to checkmate you.
Magnus said yesterday that he said that he thinks Hans is significantly stronger now than he was 2 years ago. What is your perspective on that?
I mean, honestly, having played Hans in some Blitz a couple of years ago, I thought he played much better then than he did in the match today, frankly.